What's up, guys? So earlier today I posted a everything you need to know about Warlocks video, and it got some good feedback, and I got a couple of messages of people asking me to do it with other classes. The problem with that is I don't know much about other classes. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty caster oriented. So because of that, I feel comfortable that I know a little bit about mage, and I've done some research on mage, and I am by no means a big brain mage at all. Okay. You want to go to the mage Discord, your one-stop shop for everything and anything mage related. If you want better they're way smarter than me. I'm a peasant just learning from them. Okay. But mage is my second favorite class now, and I will be running 1 second right after my warlock. So I figured I can wing this up. Let's figure it out together. So this is going to be everything that you need to know about mages. Once again, check out the mage Discord if you have real questions. It'll be linked in the comments or the pinned comment and the description below. Let's get into it. The biggest thing to come out with mage with this season is, well, you can be a healer. It's yet to know how big of a healer that can be, whether it's a main healer, an off healer, a dungeon healer, whatever it is. We don't really know yet. It's all speculation. Every video you go to right now is all speculation. Don't take even this video to heart, okay? But pretty much like an example of one of them is regeneration. You have a 3-second channel that you put on somebody. It's like a purple beam channel, right? At the end of that 3 seconds, it puts a temporal beacon on them. And then 100% of all arcane damage you do will heal that person who has the beam, right? And there's a mass regeneration effect where it does it to 5 people, which is less healing, right? So if regen, just to give you an estimate, is 500, healing it gives you. The mass one is 250 regen. And then lastly, there's one called rewind time, which rewind time is exactly what it kind of sounds like, right? Any of your current targets with the temporal beacon are instantly healed for all damage it takes over the last 5 seconds. Okay, we'll get into that when we get into the runes. So yeah, you are a healer. I don't know how much of the healing is going to be good or not. To put in perspective, if it was 500 healing, I had, I think, 1100 healing when I was playing the demo. So I mean, that's a chunky heal in my opinion. That being said, the rune system. We all know about the rune system, okay? You have 3 rune slots which work as engravings, they call them, okay? So you can engrave your chest, you can engrave your helm, and you can engrave your gloves with a certain ability, right? Just like I was talking about that regeneration ability, that is a chest slot one. You can enchant it, or as they use the term, engrave it into your chest, okay? There's one for your pants and gloves as well. There was a data mine leak that was posted by Wowhead not too long ago that showcased that we're gonna have rune abilities that we can put in our hands, bracers, cloak, feet, helm, shoulders, and waist as well at some point, although it didn't say when we would be able to. So just know that they are coming, and God knows what other kind of abilities that we can be able to get from here, right? I'm hoping for a lust. Is that too much? Can we just get a lust? A rune that lusts? Obviously this probably wouldn't come to like a level, whatever the last rune slot would be for like level 60, but I can literally imagine it being lust. I don't know what other one. Let me know in the comments what you think a mage rune would be, but I think lust is just chef's kiss. That'd be perfect. Anyway, we can get right into it, starting with the chest ones, okay? This is going to be all the runes for it. The first one is Burnout. This increases your spell critical strike chance with all spells by 15%, but your non-periodic spell critical strikes now have an additional mana cost of 1% of your base mana. I think Burnout is a great rune, and I'm pretty sure this is what it's going to be right here. This just gives you permanent 15% spell crit, which is really nice. I'm not sure if the 1% additional cost to your mana is that big of a deal, but this is where you check the mage Discord because they know much more than I do. The next one is Fingers of Frost. Gives your chill effects a 15% chance to grant you the Fingers of Frost effect, which treats your next 2 spell casts as if your targets were frozen. Last 15 seconds. This is exactly as it is in Lich King. This is a talent that you take normally, and it would just be great for PvP. I think mages are going to be absolutely insane for PvP, but I also think it might actually help a little bit if you're Frost in PvE, because you can get your procs, use your two casts on 2 frost bolts, so frost bolt, and throw an ice lance instant with them too, so they land at the same time, and you get the perks of both of them, so that's kind of cool. The next one is Enlightenment. You deal 10% more damage while you have more than 70% mana, and while below 30% mana, 10% of your mana regeneration continues while casting. This looks like ass, but I would take Burnout, Fingers Frost, hell, even regeneration over that. Maybe it's just me. This is a retail ability that you do 10% more damage if you're above 70% mana. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm never above 70% mana. I don't know. Let me know. And the last rune for chest is Regeneration, like I was talking about earlier. This heals the target for 485 health over 3 seconds and applies Temporal Beacon for 30 seconds. It records the subject's space-time position. 100% of all arcane damage done by the caster will be converted to chronomantic healing and divided among the caster's current Temporal Beacon targets. This is the single target version of the heal. There's a mass regen coming up too in the next slot. It's a 3-second channel beam that heals the target for 485, like you're seeing right now, and then it puts the temporal beacon on it. What's interesting is the temporal beacon gets put on the target the second that you start the drain. So the second that you start the channel for regen. So you don't even need to sit there and do the whole 3-second. I guess you could if they need the healing, but if you just wanted to get your temporal beacon on them, you can just quickly do it and then snap back off of it, right? And like I said, afterwards, 100% of all arcane damage you do will be converted to healing and heal that one target or whoever else you have this beacon on. Now onto the leg runes. The first one up, Icy Veins. Icy Veins, just like Lich King, hastens your spellcasting, increasing spellcasting speed by 20% and reduces the pushback suffered from damaging attacks while being casted by 100% last 20 seconds. This is an amazing cooldown. I can't imagine you would take anything else on this tier right here. And I don't know, maybe I'm just coped out of my mind, but I love Icy Veins and I'm super glad that this is a rune. It makes so much sense that this is a rune because I feel like this is a very iconic mage spell. Next up is Arcane Surge. Unleash all your remaining mana in a surge of energy focused at the target, dealing 95 to 111 arcane damage. Increased by up to 300% of your mana remaining. Afterward, your normal mana regeneration is activated, increased by 300% for 8 seconds. This I don't think is going to get much love in PvE. I could be wrong, but this could be pretty dope in PvP in my opinion. Imagine stacking 4 Arcane Blast if you can somehow get 4 Arcane Blasts cast in PvP. That'd be crazy. But just imagine getting a 4 stack of that and then just unleashing a huge Arcane Surge. That could be pretty fun to watch in PvP. Next up is Living Flame. This summons a Spellfire Flame that moves toward the target, leaving a trail of Spellfire. This trail deals 42 Spellfire damage every second to nearby enemies, and it lasts 20 seconds. This does exactly like it says it does. It throws a big ass flame on the ground towards the target and leaves a trail behind it. Looks like it does right now on the screen. This is an interesting spell. I feel like it's going to do better the more gear you have, which I guess all spells typically do, but this right now is like the highest, I guess, single target DPS that they could find is Living Bomb and Living Flame if you have it up. Throw a Fireball out there and then spam Fireball. So it'd be interesting to see. I feel like if this is in the same tier as Icy Veins, I don't really understand that part of it because I fucking love Icy Veins, but you never know. And the last one for the rune is Mass Regeneration. This heals all target party members within 15 yards of the target player for 262 health over 3 seconds and applies Temporal Beacon to each target for 15 seconds. This records the subject's space-time position, and 100% of all arcane damage done by the caster will be converted to chronomatic healing and divided amongst the caster's current temporal beacon targets. This is just an AoE version of the single target region that we talked about earlier. So the same thing, just AoE, and it's less healing. Onto the gloves. The first one, Arcane Blast. Blast the target with energy, dealing 190 to 210 arcane damage. Each time you cast Arcane Blast, the damage and healing of all other arcane spells is increased by 15%, and mana cost of Arcane Blast is increased by 175%. This effect stacks up to 4 times and lasts 6 seconds or until any other arcane damage or healing spell is classed. This is a lot like the Lich King one, besides one minor detail, which is this is a damage and a healing of all other arcane spells gets increased, not Arcane Blast. I think this could be a powerhouse in PvP. Imagine stacking to 4 stacks of Arcane Blast and then surging or missiling or anything in the world. The next one up is Ice Lance, which is exactly what Ice Lance has always been. It deals 23 to 27 frost damage to an enemy target, causing triple damage against frozen enemies. I think just like it is in Lich King, this will be a great PvP addition. So it's one of those things that I think is going to make Mage even better in PvP. The next one is Living Bomb. Yes, Living Bomb. The target becomes a living bomb, taking 142 fire damage over 12 seconds. After 12 seconds, and when the spell is dispelled, the target explodes, dealing 72 fire damage to all enemies within 10 yards. That's dope. One of my favorite abilities of Mage ever in the history of the world is in the game. I can't wait to just be living bombing people all the time. Imagine just being in a PG and just living bomb, living bomb, living bomb. You could living bomb, you could living bomb. In BFD, which is the only raid that's out right now, there wasn't that much trash in there. Well, I mean, we were able to do the first 3 bosses and there wasn't that much trash leading up to that. But I feel like Mage, your AoE just got even better than you guys. Mages were already king of the world with the AoE. And now this makes it even better. Plus all these other runes that are coming out, I think they're going to dominate single target. And then also there's PvP is just going to be amazing. I think they're going to I think Mage is a complete powerhouse in Season of Discovery. And the last rune, Rewind Time. Your current target with the Temporal Beacon instantly heals all damage taken over the last 5 seconds. Ineffective on targets that did not have a Temporal Beacon 5 seconds ago. This means anybody that you put regen or mass regen on that got that Temporal Beacon, when you press Rewind Time, they will be instantly healed from all damage that happened over the past 5 seconds. This is the cherry on the top for the healing. I don't honestly know how good this is going to be at all for healing. This is one of the things where I'm just frantically looking through Discord and everywhere else trying to get any morsel of knowledge, because I am almost more excited about this healing part of Mage than anything else. But then like half of me just wants to sit there and pump damage out the most. So I don't know what's better. Like I said, check out the Mage Discord where they're much smarter than me. They're talking about it nonstop in the Seasons of Discovery general channel. But yeah, it's like, I just want to know how much the healing does. I see how much it did on the beta. I mean, on the demo, right? Like you're healing for almost 500 at 485 or whatever. I had like 1100 health. That's a chunky single target heal. But like when there's oncoming damage, how's the AoE going to be split? Also, I don't know if it's going to be worth, like, if you look at these runes, you got to give up Living Bomb, Arcane Blast for rewind time. Even like the Mass Regen, if you take Mass Regen, you're giving up Living Flame, which is, I think, is pretty good single target, especially when you get more gear. You're giving up Arcane Surge, you're giving up Icy Veins. That's like crazy. The first one, you're giving up Burnout, Fingers of Frost, Enlightenment for regeneration. So it's all speculation right now. Nobody fucking knows anything, no matter what anybody says. But that's the place to look if you need to over the Mage Discord. I'm just excited about it. I'm Mage is my second character. I want to see what happens, man. I honestly think you guys are going to be a powerhouse AoE, a powerhouse single target, and an absolute monster in PvP. You got to remember that level 25, this is before rogues get prepped. They don't have kidney shot. That, you know, warlocks don't have fell hunters. We can't even charm with our succubus. Like, I think mages have a lot of their toolkit. You could counterspell at 24. Like, you have a lot of your toolkit. I think mages is going to dominate this entire level 25 bracket. I could be wrong. All I know is fuck warriors, and I'll see you guys out there. Okay, if you guys like this, let me know. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, but I'll try to figure it out for you guys.